इस खेल का निर्देशक कोई भी हो, लेकिन इस ड्रामे का अंतिम सीन तो हम ही लिखेंगे. When you have a punchline like that, you kind of know which actor I'm sitting and having a conversation with. Hello and welcome to India Today. This is Hesha Chimah, and joining me for a conversation are two of my favorite people, Prachi Desai and of course Manoj Bajpayee ji. Hello and congratulations.
Thank you.
मतलब लग रहा है पिछला साल, ये साल, अगले आने वाले साल सारे आप ही के हैं सर.
ऐसा नहीं है.
पर अच्छी बात है ना? अच्छी बात है.
Yeah, I'm happy that all the things that I've been doing, people have been loving it. You know, silence is something that people have loved the first part, and there is an audience of Silence Part 1 waiting for Silence 2, and Aban Barucha Devhans, who is the director, she has made it sure that it's far more bigger and far more better this time. Yeah, so the thrill is bigger, thrill is much more, intensity and the mystery is going to be quite a lot, much more intense, much more bigger this time.
Manoj sir's monologues are also
Yeah.
I didn't think I started with that line because I was like, punchline ek to honi hai. So I was like, with him there has to be a punchline. But Gustaki Ma, first of all, I'm doing this dialogue in front of both of you all established actors. But कभी ऐसा guts हुए हैं बोलने के लिए the same line? हाँ ठीक है निर्देशक तो, but I will write my last thing.
नहीं मैं अपनी line तो नहीं लिखता हूँ. नहीं, कभी-कभी improvise होते हैं, वो that is a different thing. But those sequences and scenes, they give you that much of liberty and freedom to improvise, and even director is also okay with it. But here this Aban is a thorough, you know, in writing, and when there is a murder mystery like this, Aban is someone who is a pro writer, you know, the kind of technical words she writes, to remember those technical words is quite a job for me. What was that?
हमें पहले जानना था कि आपको इतना कैसे पता है about murders and about blood splatters and
Where you getting your knowledge from?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you somebody who also improvises a lot, or do you sort of like stick to your script very strictly?
You know, in this case, I think personally, I would say that the kind of roles that I get or I do, that doesn't really have scope to do any much more than what there is. So you kind of you kind of find your good space within that. If ever, yes, you feel like, oh, I think we could add this or that, or within the scene what you can do, that yes, I feel. But then whenever I observe people like Manoj sir, like when we did our first few readings, we got a hang of yes, where we are in the second part. I remember because by then sir knew his character so well that when in a scene, in a very intense scene, there was a scope for you know, saying something unintentionally funny, he did that, and it just happened in flow while we were doing the reading. So I think things like that happen, which are brilliant, but they are not pre-planned. They are not because I think I want to do more, or it just comes organically, and that's just the best.
But you know, when for you yourself, Manoj ji, when you're such a big shapeshifter yourself, and you've kind of proved that, I think back in the day only, जब आपने चालू किया, I think when probably, you know, Shul and Con and all of those things were happening, one way you're looking different and somewhere else you're looking completely different, right? Tell me, how much do you yourself pressurize yourself to sort of maintain that, or do you feel like you're organically navigated towards projects जो, you know, ऐसे हो जाते हैं या मिल जाते हैं?
नहीं, because since I'm looking for it, so I wait for it. I have been looking for it. That is why I waited. You know, it amounted to waiting for those films and those projects for far long. Sometimes you were doing one film in a year, maximum 2 films in a year. But you know that, you know, if you keep waiting, there's something you know, something worthwhile will come your way. And in between, you're only saying no to people. And when you are young, you know that there is a life, you know, ahead. You know that you are not in a rush. I was never in a rush. I've always been a very patient man. I still am. I'm very patient, very patient. So not getting work was not something that was difficult to deal with. not getting good roles is very difficult to deal with. You know, it be like you waited for 1 year, but it's still there is no role. Then there is a problem. Then you are getting frustrated. Then you are getting, then you are thinking too many things in your head. But luckily, after Satya, one role out of so many other offers used to fascinate me, and those were the roles that I went for. Be it Kaun or Shul or Zubeda or Ghat, for that, or Dil Pe Mat Le Yaar. You know, so those were the roles that always attracted me, or roles and the films which were far more experimental, you know, or Aks. So for me, a film flopping, it was not a big deal, but for a film to be a bad film was always a big deal for me. I always tried my level best to choose very wisely and very patiently. Yeah.
But you know, and I think you've said it also multiple times in your interviews and interactions, that you don't chase box office numbers, but you kind of know that's
don't.
important.
Yeah.
But do you feel with the whole, and I'm being very honest, with the whole facade of films and projects that are happening right now, sometimes numbers are inflated for mediocrity, and do you feel like good work sort of, and good actors take precedence over that?
You know, I don't have a proof that the numbers are inflated. I don't have a proof that there are bookings, you know, indirectly happening. I don't have a proof. So when I don't have a proof, I try to you know, not to comment on it, because I'm a person, if I have ample proof, I'll definitely talk about it. But yes, there are talks, and it's being written about quite a lot. So be it. It doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, if the audience is increasing in theatres, that's a very good sign. I want theatres to do well. I want many mediums to survive and compete with each other. That is very good for all of us, you know, because offers will be way too many for everyone. There will be rooms for everyone. There will be opportunities for all of us. That will be a very good situation for all of us. Yeah.
That's actually true. Prachi, coming to you, you also have a very solid body of work that attests the act and the actor inside of you, right? I want to understand, do you finally feel at this stage in your career that the industry has opened up to you and opportunities are now going to come in your way? Because you don't need to prove what you do, you already have proved that. But do you feel there's lack of opportunities in that sense, or are you somebody who wants to be quite picky and choosy about what you say yes to?
I think that somewhere I'm still that person who takes her time and says yes to projects. I think what I do is always important to me, and certain kind of roles anyway never attracted me. But I just feel like with OTT now, because there is that much more work happening, you can say yes a little more. So, you know, with theatricals, you take your time, you say a yes or a no. In the meantime, maybe something OTT comes by and which you like, and you do. So it's only that this balance is better now because there is a new platform. So my pattern hasn't changed. It's not like now there is OTT, I want to do 5 more films in the year. It's just that my process is still the same. But because there is an added medium now, there is that many more opportunities, which, yeah, you can kind of do. So that's where I am at.
You know, I'm going to pick from the title of the next project, which is Silence, that's here on 16th of April. What's the importance of silence in Manoj Bajpayee's life?
I'm a quiet guy mostly.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. So it's not that I'm quiet by choice. It's not that. It's just that when I'm needed to talk about certain things, and if I feel that you know, I'm going to be heard, then only there is a point of talking. If it is only one way conversation or communication, then there is no point talking. Then mostly you are listening. And also to talk, before you talk, you should listen to the person, you know, completely, and all the perspective that the person is giving to you. And if you have anything else to add, or if you have some kind of an opposite opinion, and you know that it is going to be accepted, by the person that you are talking to, then there is a point of talking. Otherwise, just be silent.
And what about you, Prachi? What's the importance of silence in your life? Let me put it that way, or ask you that, has there ever been, say, something that you really wanted or very passionately wanted to talk about, but chose to be silent because you felt that was the right way forward?
I would say, you know, there are so many kinds of silences, but only as you grow and as life happens, you realize that there are so many different types of silences. So you kind of learn to embrace that silence in different situations in different ways. Again, I'm also one of those people who, you know, who likes to keep to herself and, you know, isn't out there so much. So silence is like my great true companion and friend. But yeah, as far as I would say that I usually don't like spending my energy talking about everything and anything. But where I feel that something really needs to be said, I don't hold back. And whether the camera is on or not on, I say it. So I would say that that art of, you know, being silent is something you learn through the years. And for an actor, I think I remember when I did the first daily soap, Ram and Ashwini, our co-stars, they taught me this. They told me that for every scene, if you just quietly listen, that's all you need to know, because your expressions will actually come from there. That's when I learned that, okay, I may have a line after 3 people's lines, but I'm not just standing there waiting that now I have to say this or after this person. I'm listening. It's making me feel things. I'm, you know, within the scene, I'm changing, I'm feeling something, and then I'm coming to that point of saying something. So that silence in life and in an actor's life, that's something that over the years I've learned and embraced the art of.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because that's exactly what happens to me when I'm in an interview. Like, I may have set questions I prepared, but eventually I'm in the conversation.
You're waiting for the person to finish so you can ask the next.
But I think that's no more with me. I'm waiting for the person to finish, so it's probably I'll pick up something from
form
there.
a new question.
Yeah, like, because that's what the whole silence does to you. But Prachi, I want to ask you this question, and eventually I'm going to ask you, Manoj, this question as well. When you're in self-doubt, what do you do to sort of navigate through that emotion?
Well, self-talk is really important in life. I think I realized after so many years how hard I was being on myself, not learning to give yourself credit, not learning to own your own choices. These are the things I kind of learned. Yes, today I'm much prouder of myself. I know how to give myself credit. I know how to own a mistake, that okay, if I did a film and I didn't enjoy the process, or maybe the film did not do well, it's okay. I'm not blaming, you know, somebody who pushed me to do it, or somebody who said, you know, this will be good for you, you do it. At the end of the day, it was my choice. That I think that self-talk is important. In the spur of the moment, I will still say I'm human. That moment is there when I still blame myself or something, but I'm just able to overcome it. Today, I can overcome that, and not let that bother me as much.
Yeah. Manoj, what about you? How do you navigate self-doubt?
See, self-doubt is very much inevitable when you are in a profession like this. Even if you are a lawyer, you are going to face this question. In all the freelance jobs, you will be surrounded with self-doubts. There will be a time when you will be thinking if you are doing the right thing, and are you on the right path, or are you the talent, or are you the professional that you think that you are? Are you doing complete justice to it? Okay, so you are how you take it, how you resolve it, is something which is very important. I always say that everybody falls. It's always about how quickly you get up. Is the sign of a person.
But someone who's such an overcritical person like yourself, or a thinker,
right?
Then how do you navigate your self-doubt?
Completely. I mean, when you are I wouldn't say I'm overthinking. Whatever I'm doing, the self-doubts or the criticism of your own self are the process to better yourself. Okay, so you are not depending on anybody's validation. Rather, you are being truthful to yourself. If you are doubting yourself, criticizing yourself, that's the best thing. That's the best thing. You are really not dependent on others for criticism or appreciation. There are times I'm very happy with myself, and I'm patting myself at that point of time, and telling Manoj Bajpayee that yes, it was a good job, man. You are a good job. You pulled it up. But most of the times, you are surrounded by self-doubts. You are surrounded by the criticism by your own self, and which is completely good. But I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Once I realize my mistake, once I realize that there is a room for discovery, there is room for improvement, I start working on it. So self-doubt is one thing. How quickly you get out of it and start putting yourself to good use is another thing.
But then you're also surrounded by people where there's so much flattery
I don't
happening,
care a damn about people.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care only.
No, I know, because if I'm such a big critic of myself, so all I care is my own criticism, because I exactly know where I faltered. I exactly know where I made a wrong decision, or where I really bettered myself. People from outside, see, there are spectators in all the cricket matches. There are people watching on TV, and everyone is thinking that pace bowler could have bowled on the offside, not on the onside. But for that very spectator need to be in the field.
Yeah.
Facing Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah, doing that.
Doing that. Okay. So we are the doers. You know, the doers are exactly know where they faltered or where they bettered themselves. Others are spectators. Don't take them seriously.
That's also
That's
very
so
true.
nice.
That's so well said, right? Because I had a moment when I could had an informal chat with Manojji, and that's when I understood that, okay, he has so much depth other than this, and it's all real. Like, it's not just for the camera. So, had to ask you how you navigate through that. Thank you so much. I feel Silence 2 has a lot to offer to everybody, and I'm glad that I got an opportunity via that to sit and talk to both of y'all. Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward.
Thank you.
so
It was
much.
fun.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
And now we're waiting for you to come back with like Silence 2 dialogues.
है ना?
Silence to
I'll
dialogue.
sit with those dialogues and be like,
Right.
sir, बताओ ये कौन से हैं? प्राची बच्ची, you also have got this one. That's why very nicely बीच में I put one Silence 1 का dialogue. I said, let's see.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, and thank you everybody for watching India Today.
Thank you.